Hello plant friends, welcome back to the Plant Prince PH, your go-to channel for cactus and succulent care. Today we're diving to the wonderful world of Haworthia. I recently bought my first Haworthia and I wanted to share my journey with you, especially if you're just starting out like me. These Haworthia are from Haworthia Garden, Thailand, one of the famous Haworthia breeders and seller in Thailand. They have plenty of beautiful variegated ones, but I'm going to start with these common ones. When you're new to collecting a genus of plants, it is a good idea to start with cheaper plants. Think of this as your trial plants. The reason for this is simple. If they don't survive, it won't hurt your wallet too much. Plus, you won't feel too bad about it. This approach gives you room to make mistakes and learn without significant financial loss. Moreover, before you start collecting, it is crucial to do your homework. Research the genus thoroughly. Understand their natural habitat like the temperature ranges they thrive in, the amount of rain they get, and their sun exposure. Haworthias, for example, are native to South Africa, where they grow in shaded areas with well-draining soil. Knowing these details will help you recreate their ideal environment. I've done some research and watched a couple of YouTube videos on how to take care for Haworthia. I also reached out to some of my friends here in the Philippines who have experience with these plants. They gave me some tips on how they take care of their Haworthias. Now, I'm going to share some tips I've gathered from my research and friends. But take these tips with a grain of salt as I'm also just starting out with this genus. I'm not an expert in Haworthia care, but I hope that by sharing my experiences we can learn together. This is the Haworthia we are going to pot. It is a Haworthia Shiba Toshi. The first thing to do when you get a new Haworthia is to trim and remove the old and dead roots. Trimming these roots will make space for new, healthy roots to grow. New roots are more efficient at absorbing nutrients from the soil, which is crucial for the plant's overall health. Additionally, removing dead roots help reduce the risk of root rot, which can be a common issue if all decaying roots are left in place. Always use clean, sharp scissors or pruning shears to avoid introducing any infections. Now that we have trimmed the roots, I will let the wound heal if it has. Now, let's make our Haworthia soil mix. This mix is based on a recipe from a well-known Haworthia grower here in the Philippines, with a few adjustments to suit my drier environment. First, let's go over the components of our soil mix. We're using pumice, akadama, carbonized rice hull, and coco peat. Let's start with 4 parts pumice. Pumice is fantastic for improving drainage and aeration in the soil mix. It is also lightweight. The air pockets in pumice can hold nutrients, water, and air, which are all essential for healthy Haworthia plants. It also ensures that the roots have enough oxygen, which helps prevent root rot and promotes healthy growth. Next, we have 4 parts akadama. This is a type of volcanic soil widely used in Japan. Some growers even use 100% akadama for their plants. Akadama helps retain moisture while providing excellent drainage, creating a balanced environment for Haworthia roots. It also has the ability to hold onto nutrients, making them available to Haworthia over time. In addition to that, the granular structure of akadama allows for good aeration, ensuring that Haworthia roots have access to the oxygen they need. Next is 1 part carbonized rice hull. This component is beneficial for improving soil structure and drainage. It also adds organic matter to the mix, which helps retain moisture and provides nutrients. It also has insulation properties, helping regulate soil temperature and create a more stable environment for the Haworthia roots. Lastly, we have 1 part coco peat. Coco peat is a sustainable organic component that retains the right moisture to keep the roots active. It helps to keep the soil mix light and fluffy, which is perfect for Haworthias. It is also less prone to microbial degradation compared to some other organic material and has natural resistance to pests and diseases. To prepare the soil mix, simply combine all these components. Mix everything thoroughly to ensure an even distribution of all components. This mix will serve as the basis for my soil mix. I'll adjust it as needed. If it dries too fast, I'll add more organic matter. And if it stays wet for too long, I'll add more inorganic components. Of course, you can experiment with your soil mix. Remember, the key is to create a well-draining and nutrient-holding environment for your Haworthia. Feel free to adjust the mix based on your conditions and the availability of the materials. If you don't have carbonized rice hull or coco peat, you can use any other organic matter available to you. If akadama or pumice is not available, you can use perlite, leca, or any other inorganic materials. By the way, the akadama and pumice size I use is 3 to 6 mm. For me, this is the perfect size. Finer particles like 1 to 3 mm retain more water, which can lead to higher water retention. The 3 to 6 mm size allows more room for air in the soil mix, increasing aeration for better root respiration. This is what the soil mix looks like. It is well-draining, lightweight, and airy, which is very good for Haworthia roots. Remember, ensuring a healthy Haworthia begins with choosing the right potting mix. Now let's plant the Haworthia. Here is the Haworthia Shiba Toshi. It has been a day since we root trimmed it. The wound from the root trimming is already healed. Here are the things that I use in potting. The first one is pumice. I add this at the bottom of the pot. Next one is the Haworthia potting mix we made. For the top dressing, I will be using fine akadama. For the pot, I will be using this white octagon pot. As you can see, this pot has feet and lots of drainage holes even in the side. This allows the air to enter at the bottom and side of the pot, and it also allows water to drain properly. For additional nutrients, I add Osmocote, which is a slow-release fertilizer. I also put in Starkel G. This is a granular systemic insecticide from Thailand. Then of course, some potting tools. The first thing I do is to add some pumice at the bottom of the pot to cover the holes. This will keep the organic components of my potting mix from washing away when watering. Next, I add the potting mix up to a few centimeters away from the rim of the pot. Place the Haworthia, then continue adding the potting mix. Top the pot to allow the potting mix to settle. Next, I will be adding some Osmocote, a slow-release fertilizer. This will give the Haworthia a steady supply of nutrients for at least 3 to 6 months. The clip was not recorded, but I added Starkel G for insect prevention. This protects the Haworthia from insects, including those hidden in the leaf nodes, crevices, and roots. Next, add the top dressing. I chose akadama because I like the clean, earthy look. Akadama also changes color when it is wet, which is useful if you always forget when you last watered your Haworthia. And there you have it, a newly potted Haworthia. I'll just add the tag so that I won't forget its name. Here are the rest of the Haworthias I potted. Since there are no major cuts in the roots, I'll be watering them right away. I'll be adding a biostimulant or a plant growth hormone in the water. This will help and encourage healthy roots. Just follow the recommended dosage when using this. I will be lightly watering this Haworthia for at least a month, enough to moisten the potting mix and encourage root growth. After a month or two, I'll water them fully until the water comes out of the bottom of the pot. Then I will follow the 3 days wet, 3 days dry rule. This means that the Haworthia soil mix should be dry within 3 days. Then I will wait another 3 days before watering again. Letting the soil mix dry for a bit will encourage the roots to go deeper and seek moisture. For sun exposure, make sure to provide long filtered sun to keep them compact and protect them from harsh sun exposure. Remember that most of these Haworthias in their habitat grow under bushes, which protects them from the intense sun. Hopefully, this Haworthia will thrive in my place. If you have more tips, please share them below. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more cactus and succulents videos. Until next time, happy planting!